Hello everyone, my name is Rachel Ng and I'll be presenting my research topic on the comparison study of touch and click input methods for mobile and desktop apps. Here is the overview for this presentation. For my research problem, many apps use the same interface across mobile and desktop, despite their different interaction styles. This lack of tailored design often reduces usability, as limited research addresses how UI elements should adapt to touch versus click inputs. For my research questions, what are the key differences in user interaction behavior between mobile and desktop platforms? How does the UI/UX design elements differ between mobile and desktop apps? And how can UI/UX design be optimized to enhance usability and user satisfaction on both touch-based and click-based interface? For my research objectives, to analyze the difference in user interaction behavior between mobile and desktop platforms, to identify key UI/UX design elements that differ between desktop and mobile apps, and to recommend design guidelines tailored for touch-based and click-based interface. Before we get into my research, we were tasked to do critical review on 3 other research papers that are related to our research topic. For the first research paper, this research explores how desktop and mobile devices affect web user experience, highlighting that many sites remain poorly optimized for mobile use. This study aims to improve UX by offering practical design recommendations and encouraging deeper research into cross-device usage, focusing on how device differences influence user behavior, satisfaction, and usability. For its strength, it is clear and easy to understand. Pilot tests improve questionnaires' clarity and reliability, and purposive sampling ensured device participation pool. For its weakness, however, risk of selection bias from voluntary participation, potential response bias in self-reported data, and online format may lead to misinterpretation of questions. For the second research paper, this research examined how vertical versus horizontal interaction affects task performance on mouse and touch-based interface. It aims to identify the most efficient interaction direction for each device type to improve usability in gesture-heavy applications. For its strength, it has clear experimental setup with real performance data, offers practical UI design guidance for different devices, and is relevant to modern gesture-based digital environments. For this weakness, however, it does not consider complex gesture or real app scenarios. It lacks detailed participant demographics affecting generalizability, and controlled environments may not reflect real-world usage conditions. For the third research paper, this research explores how input devices, touchscreen, mouse, and touchpad impact user experience in complex tasks using Microsoft Word. This study aims to identify which input method works best for different tasks to improve efficiency, satisfaction, and interface design in complex software. For this research strength, it compares mouse, touchscreen, and touchpad across user expertise levels. It covers a variety of real-world Microsoft Word tasks, and it evaluates usability from effectiveness, efficiency, and satisfaction angles. For its weakness, however, small sample size become more limited when it's picked by expertise, user expertise based on self-report, and not objective measures. Only 56 out of 300 plus Word tasks were tested, limiting coverage. For my research methodology, my selected method is the quantitative method. Why did I choose this method? Surveys are cost-effective, easy to distribute, and allow for honest, anonymous responses. For my sample size, I have targeted a minimum of 100 responses, with the inclusion criteria of individuals who actively use both computers and mobile devices, who are familiar with using both click-based and touch-based interactions, and are aged 18 and above. Vice versa, for the exclusion criteria, individuals who only use one platform with limited digital literacy or are below the age of 18 will be excluded from the data pool. Now back to my research, going into findings section 1. This section ensured participants met 3 inclusion criteria. Out of 104 responses, 13 were excluded, including 1 incorrectly filled survey, leaving 91 valid responses for analysis. Most participants were age 45 and above, revealing higher than expected engagement from older users. This highlights the importance of designing accessible cross-platform interface for all age groups. All 91 respondents were regular users of both mobile and desktop platforms. And all 91 respondents were familiar with both touch and click-based input. ensuring that the data reflects first-hand experience. This strengthens the study's reliability by excluding participants with limited exposure or speculative responses. Section 2. This section examines how participants engage with mobile and desktop platforms during everyday tasks. Participants chose their preferred platform for 5 tasks, revealing clear trends. Desktop was strongly preferred for typing documents and emails, and slightly for filling out forms and surveys, likely due to better precision and screen size. Mobile was heavily favored for social media and watching videos, due to ease of use and portability. Internet browsing showed a more balanced preference, with 60.4% choosing mobile and 39.6% choosing desktop, reflecting flexible usage based on context. Participants identified key UI/UX factors influencing their platform choice for various tasks. The top 2 reasons were larger or clearer layout, especially for typing and browsing, and easier navigation menu structure, which ranked highest for browsing, social media, and forms. These results highlight the user's strong preference for clarity and ease of use. In contrast, factors like intuitive gestures and button slice were less influential. Familiarity with the platform moderately impacted routine tasks like social media and video watching. Overall, users prioritized layout clarity and navigation flow over technical or input-specific features. When facing difficulties on one platform, half of the participants said that they would switch to another device, showing adaptability and awareness of each platform's strength. Others chose to persist, while some postponed or abandoned the task, reflecting frustration with poor UI/UX. Only 5.5% reported rarely experiencing such issues. These results highlight the need for frictionless, user-centered design that reduces the need for switching or workarounds. Section 3. This section explores participants' UI/UX design preference for mobile and desktop platforms using YouTube as a reference. Participants reviewed side-by-side screenshots and answered 6 questions on button size, layout clarity, navigation ease, consistency, and overall satisfaction to review usability challenges and cross-platform design expectations. Over half of the respondents preferred mobile for button size, citing easier typing and better thumb reach. In contrast, 19.8% favored desktop for its position, while 29.7% saw no difference. Participants showed a higher preference for YouTube mobile layout, likely due to its simplified and stacked design suited for small screens. The desktop layout was preferred by 25.3% for the broader view and traditional navigation, while 35.2% found both layouts equally organized. When asked about navigation smoothness on YouTube, 37.4% of participants preferred the mobile version, 30.8% favored the desktop version, and 31.9% noticed no difference. Mobile users valued gesture-based controls and simplified menus, while desktop users appreciated visual clarity and quick access via mouse or keyboard. When asked if YouTube should use the same layout across mobile and desktop, 39.6% agreed, valuing familiarity across devices. However, 28.6% disagreed, favoring platform optimized design, while 31.9% were unsure. When switching between YouTube's mobile and desktop versions, the most reported frustration was missing features on one platform, followed by inconsistent button or menu placement, which disrupts familiarity. Layout shifts and performance differences were each cited by 22 users, highlighting design and technical inconsistencies. Despite this, 26 participants reported no issues, suggesting overall usability remained acceptable for many. The 2 individuals' comments further emphasized usability concern. One mentioned giving up when interfaces aren't user-friendly, while another struggled with locating features. Nearly half of respondents expressed satisfaction, indicating general approval of YouTube unified design. However, 44 participants were neutral, suggesting that while the experience was acceptable, it lacked standout consistency or had areas needing improvement. Only 2 respondents reported dissatisfaction, and none were very dissatisfied. Analysis and discussion. In section 1, this section analyzed the survey findings in relation to the study's research questions. To answer research question 1, findings shows that platform preference is task-dependent. Desktop was preferred for tasks like typing, form filling, and video editing. In contrast, mobile was favored for browsing and social media due to ease of touch, interaction, mobility, and simplified UI. These results support observation that device ergonomics and interaction models shape user behavior. They also align with Sogard's call for adaptive design that considers input modality and usage context. Overall, interaction behavior is not purely device-driven, but influenced by the demands of each task, reinforcing the need for platform-specific design strategies. To answer research question 2, participants express clear platform-specific expectations. Mobile users prioritize larger buttons and gesture-based controls for ease of touch navigation, while desktop users value features like hover states, layered menus, and keyboard shortcuts for greater precision. These insights reinforce North's argument that responsive design alone is insufficient. Merely resizing elements does not address the interaction differences between platforms. Instead, UI/UX design should adapt to both input methods and user context to ensure a seamless and intuitive experience across devices. To answer research question 3, although most participants viewed YouTube design as consistent, many noted frustration with layout changes, missing features, and altered button placement across devices. This gap highlights the challenges of achieving seamless cross-platform usability. As DRM Design points out, simply porting designs between mobile and desktop can compromise user satisfaction. True consistency involves not just visual alignment, but also functional parity and interaction that feels intuitive on each platform. Recommendation for improving cross-platform UI/UX design: simplify the layout and navigation by ensuring clear interface structure on both platforms. Ensure feature parity by avoiding limiting functions to one platform. Standardizing control placement by keeping menus and button location familiar across devices to support smooth transitions and minimize relearning. Optimize for device strength. Design with each platform in mind, and test with multi-device users. In conclusion, this study examined how user interaction and UI/UX design preferences differ between mobile and desktop platforms. Using YouTube as a case study, survey results from 91 users showed that device preferences vary by task type, with desktop favored for precision tasks and mobile for casual use. Key design factors like layout, navigation, and button placement greatly impacted satisfaction. This study concludes that responsive design alone is not enough. UI must adapt to both interaction methods and user context to ensure a seamless cross-platform experience. Here are the references. Thank you.